degrees and sunny, just the way I always wanted. 더바랄 것도 없어. 지금 이대로면 좋아. 따스한 햇볕이 가득 담은 Sand River. The bluebirds peacefully sing along that I love you.
Morning. Check. This needs more sugar. So we're here in Paris. We're here for the weekend, basically, because my beautiful wife is shooting a really sick wedding here. I can't wait. We'll see if we can splice in some clips or something from the wedding after she films it, so we get to be here on daddy duty and take care of our beautiful Emilia while she does her thing. But until then, today is Friday, tomorrow's the wedding, then we have Sunday to just do whatever we want, and we go back on Monday. So I'm a little nervous to bring the camera into some places because, you know, it is what it is. I'm not a dummy, you know, so we'll see where I can get some dope footage, but I wanted this to be a little less businessy, more travel-y, you know what I mean? Maybe we'll splice in a couple of gems here and there. First things first, we slept all day today. If you've never flown internationally, let me tell you something. It's you know, I don't know how people do it. Maybe if you have a private jet that gets you there way faster or something, you're Kim Kardashian or Jeff Bezos, it's a little more fun. But if you're like us, where you just take a commercial flight and it's basically a whole day of travel. Your first day at any place, here's a tip for you if you're traveling internationally. Make sure you're there a day in advance of you wanting to do anything.
Add an extra day.
Yeah, add an extra day to your travel plans to just sleep, because you're gonna wanna get acclimated to the time zone. However it is you do it, I know some people like to just get here early in the morning and then stay up and to sleep at night to get acclimated. We just stayed up and tried the new method of just staying up till it was sleepy time here. That didn't work. We woke up at like, what, 8, 9 a.m., 10 a.m. and hit snooze. Ended up waking around 4 p.m. So, yeah. We're being the obnoxious Americans ordering coffees at 5 p.m. and a croissant at 5:30 p.m. But it was worth it. Today we're just gonna hang out, move around, do some fun stuff, see some sights, and we'll take y'all with us.
It's night in the city, and I'm on my way back home. Humming on my favorite ditty, swinging like Natalie Cole. But then out of the blue, who strolls down the boulevard but you? Your place is closer than mine. Why don't we go there and have some more wine? 'Cause life is for living. Let's see where this all might lead. Let's see where this all might lead.
Yo, what's good, everybody? We are back. We're back from our trip to Paris, and it was fun. It was great. It was so cool. We got to experience like seeing the Eiffel Tower, like you guys saw. But I didn't really get to do much else. To be honest, we woke up extremely late every time, and we just, you know, decided to, you know what? After doing the project we went there to do, and just experiencing what we could experience, we were like, we're not gonna spend our time trying to film this thing and make this educational thing. Let's just enjoy this family time when we get the chance to be in Paris to enjoy it. And we did, but I didn't want to just leave you guys hanging. So we decided, you know, that now that we're back in Miami, I thought it'd be really cool to talk to the person who booked the trip out to Paris. I thought it'd be really cool to sit down with my wife, Danny. She owns a company called Mountaintop Films. And what we were there to do is shoot this really epic wedding. But what I didn't know before we went out there is that it was actually at one of the most prestigious and most desired like wedding venues ever, the Ritz Paris. Like, it was just like, we were so excited about Paris. I guess she just forgot to tell me that it happened to be at the Ritz. And if you don't know what the Ritz is, the bougie hotel, but the one in Paris specifically is a destination for a lot of like just bougie people, rich people, all this really cool stuff, right? In the wedding videography and photography space, turns out, she didn't even know this, that it's a very desired like shooting location because it's so beautiful, it's so glamorous, and the weddings are always so extravagant. So to end and to bookend this episode, I wanted to sit down with her and just ask her some questions and give you guys the value that you guys came here for regarding like how to build like a good wedding photo and video business, because she's done it and she operates it, and it's just so cool. I get to witness her crush every day, every week, every month, every year, and I just wanted to give her an opportunity to share. So if any of you guys are trying to get involved in the wedding space or even just in the event content space, I think you guys are going to get a lot of value out of this last portion of the video. So without further ado, let's just cut right to it.
What's up, baby?
What's up? So look, like I said, I wanted to bring you guys in a little bit on behind the scenes of like, what is it like to, have a successful content creation business? You don't have to be just like a restaurant business. You don't have to be a creative generalist to succeed in the creative space. You can also be really good at one thing. And even though Danny's really good at multiple things, she has a very specific business called Mountaintop Films, where she gets to travel the world, which means I get to travel the world with her, and film some of the most beautiful weddings. So Danny, thanks for being here. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I heard you wanted to chit chat.
Yeah, I did, because the people need to know, because there's only so much I know, and if you're subscribed to this channel, just be aware that like, just because I have a YouTube channel, just because I make videos doesn't mean I think I know everything. You know a whole lot more than I do when it comes to a whole lot. So let's get right into it. Look.
You're pretty genius.
No.
First of all, so he teaches me so much.
It's marriage,
I actually shot a wedding in Italy, and from that wedding, the person from Paris saw that video and was like, I absolutely love your work and I want you to capture my wedding. And was like, hey, I saw that you did my friend's wedding video and I would love to know more information about your packages and see if you'd be willing to come to Paris and shoot my wedding. And I was like, say less.
Is that usually how you get most of your business, like through other clients, even if it's not, like you said, like telling someone else, but just like other people seeing your work?
A big part of it is word of mouth, but I think it's mostly from, believe it or not, Facebook. Yeah, so Facebook, I've found a lot of success through that because of the Facebook groups. So I've kind of searched different wedding Facebook groups, and a lot of brides comment on they're looking for photographers and videographers, and I am always like on the lookout. I kind of say it's part of my outreach for the week. Yeah, I'll just get on the Facebook groups and I'll take like an hour out of the day and look through and see the brides post and just comment.
That's cool.
And it's usually like 286 comments.
Wow.
Of different people, like competition, trying to book the wedding.
Right.
And so that's where your social media comes in, and a strong website and portfolio, obviously. That's a big percentage of my bookings. So Facebook, and then of course Instagram, through Reels. Yeah, collaborating with my clients on their Instagram so then they see. And then word of mouth.
That's cool, because in my agency, there's not like a place you can go to like try to find them in terms of like a Facebook group or something like that. So that is a really cool part. I've seen you do it. I've seen you just like grind away for a few like hours or something a week, just commenting and all this stuff. So for anybody who's trying to get in the wedding space, anybody who's trying to develop that, like give some game. Like what makes you kind of touched on it, but what makes you stand out whenever you do those kind of outreach? Like you said, there's 280 comments per post. Like what makes people click on your page?
After I go through all the booking process and the couple books, a month before their wedding, I send out a questionnaire. And one of the questions is, what was the reason that, you chose us? And a lot of the times is like the work. The work speaks for itself. My eye, the creativity, that in itself stands out from a lot of the competition out there. When people click on the website, one of the first things that pops up is obviously a big picture, and then you slide down and there's the video.
A lot of us get so caught up in the marketing of our service, meaning like, you know, the reels that we post on Instagram, that I think a lot of us like don't put a lot of thought into building a really good resume or portfolio like website where people can land and actually see the full productions. You know, if you ask me, if you go to my page, Journey Tags, you'll see that, you know, I have portfolio and it's catered, you know what I mean? You don't have to put every wedding on your website. You don't have to put every project. Some, you know, one of my friends says like some deals are for the meals and some deals are for the reels.
And that's something else. It's like in your portfolio, and something I learned. Obviously, when I was starting off, I took what I could just because I was growing. As the years went by, I started only putting the type of work and the type of client, like my ideal client, on my website that I wanted to shoot. That's another big thing, is like put the work that you want to continue doing. I guess niching down in that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And we'll get back to that because I have a couple questions about how you even decided to do what you do. But back to Paris, right? Back to doing that.
Paris.
Tell me a little bit about the wedding itself. I've touched on and we've talked about and we've shown like the trip and the sights and the B-roll and the beauty and all of that good stuff. But like, okay, daytime, you know, it's time for the wedding. I get to chill in the Airbnb, you get to go work and crush. Tell me a little bit about what that was like.
I just focused on shooting video, so it was just me. It was a little crazy. I think every corner of that place is just so beautiful. Like any corner, any place in that room, in the whole venue, in the hotel, like is so pretty that I could place shoes hanging on wherever, and it would look amazing.
So you got to really like experience to not have a bad angle. You know, we've shot in a lot of places that are like, you know, the traditional weddings where it's like you gotta find and pick the spots.
Yeah, like scout out and figure out. Yeah, no, every corner of that place was incredible, and walking through it was beautiful, seeing all the designer stuff and gorgeous.
At one point you chose to niche down and specify in a specific field. What led to that choice of like making the jump from the traditional wedding to the destination elopement, you know, luxury field?
I started in good old Texas. And I was actually 17 years old when I started shooting weddings. All I knew was the normal, typical venue wedding. I never really thought that it was possible for me to go, say, New York and shoot a wedding. It was like 2 years in that I started seeing on social media this Instagram page called Adventure Instead. They were a huge part of why I decided, or even like realized and started dreaming of the potential of being able to travel the world and shoot in amazing weddings. I bought her course and I started just learning like the insides of how to run a business, niching down, SEO, website, posting specific things on your portfolio that give the traveling vibes of a wedding instead of just, oh, I just shoot Texas weddings and all that. So that's when I saw the possibility. I was like, oh my gosh, if she can do it. And I kind of looked at her story and I was like, if she can do it, I can do it too. Like, that's what I asked myself a lot of the times when I want to start something or I have a goal and I want to reach it, and I find inspiration in someone. If she can do it, like, why not me? The other thing was like, I want to travel the world. Like, what can I do? What do I have now? And what can I do to use my talents and use my giftings and travel the world? Yeah. And I was like, elopements and destination weddings. From there, I started switching, and it was a transition of about a year. And we still do. I still book weddings in Texas, and I still book weddings in other cities. It's not like only outside of just different countries. It was a year transition. We just started traveling. I think one of my first weddings was in Jamaica, and that came from a Facebook group.
When you saw that there was a possibility of something that looked interesting to you, like traveling and doing something you love with your craft, you didn't just like completely switch and be like, I'm gonna be a travel vlogger and like start from scratch. You found a way to do what you're already doing in that area.
Yes.
right? And I think so many people watching, like, you might think that you need to like up and like restart like something to follow a dream or follow a passion. And shoot, you might have to do that. You know, I'm not saying that some dreams you have to start from scratch. Some things you got to do it, but if you have the possibility to do what she did, to leverage the momentum, the portfolio, the work that you already have, I think that's a really strong tool. And I think for you too, because elopements is like a smaller, not smaller, but like a subsect of weddings in general, it was a very easy, directly aligning thing, you know? And tell me a little bit about that though. Like you said, it took you a year to fully transition or to, you know, make the full jump. What were some of the frustrations you faced with that? What was the hardest part in all of that? Because it seems like a lot.
It was a lot, but it wasn't something so like super hard and just terrible. It was, I mean, revamping the website, starting to post more travel stuff on the Instagram. It was just slowly changing it little by little. And that's why it wasn't stressful, and that's why it wasn't something so intense, and because I took a year to transition. And so, yeah, I think that was a big thing, instead of just like jumping ship and then starting from zero. And then when I did have one of the travel weddings, I just used all of that content and I started posting all those little things.
Yeah. A lot of people who are subscribed, you know, they're younger, they're 19, 20, 21, maybe they're just graduating college, maybe they're choosing to drop out of college, maybe they're like, I don't want to do college. For that person, you know, as somebody who also dropped out of college like I did, what's a piece of advice you could give to the young person watching who is afraid, unsure, not knowing what to do next? Like if you were talking to you when you started at 17, like what piece of advice do you think would most help them in terms of their mindset when it comes to this creative business?
I would say stop gatekeeping yourself. God's place specific things in your life, specific giftings that he wants you to use for his glory in whatever that is. If it's in photos, if it's in video, if it's in graphic design, don't be afraid to try it. Something that really helped me was YouTube. Everything that I learned outside of my dad showing me how to use a camera when I was 10 years old was from YouTube. Consistency is key.
Yeah, I think the same thing.
But really, it is. Consistency is key. People don't get far because it was just easy. They put in the work. They put years of work in. It's putting in the work, being consistent. You're not going to see the results come out of nowhere. And that's when a lot of people give up. And so fill yourself up with knowledge in that area that you want, and become a master at your craft.
Yeah. So before we leave, I do want to leave some room, unprompted, no question, just you and my audience. What would you know, is there anything you want to say before we log off?
I would say with the new year coming up, and you know how everybody does like their goals and their lists and everything.
Yeah.
I'd say really take the time to, in your creative brain, creative heart, take the time and write the things down that you see your highest self achieving, and write it down. Really take time to think about it and write it down. We're talking about making vision boards. And having the visual thing to see every single day. So yeah, writing those dreams down, even if they seem crazy, and pick two and start writing down the first steps on how to achieve it and what is gonna take to get to that place, whatever that is. And so, yeah, New Year's coming up, and
It is coming up.
and I know a lot of people get pumped, and I get pumped. It's an exciting time. So yeah, whatever it is, write it down, set those goals, and YouTube it.
No, literally. That's awesome. Well, baby, thank you. Thank you for
You're
sitting
welcome,
down
baby.
with me and taking some time to speak to the people, share your mind. Where can they find you on social media?
Personal is Danny Sings,
Okay.
with 2 eyes on the sings. Wedding page is mountaintopfilms.co.
Follow
Thank
her.
you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
That was fun.
It
I
was
loved
fun,
it.
right? It was so good. I learned stuff from this. Like, it's great. Look, follow her. She's amazing. You're not gonna be let down. She makes great music. We both make music, but I don't talk.
He's a
about
rapper.
it. No, don't tell them that. They don't even know. They don't even know that. Look, she makes
I
music.
don't even know.
She don't even know. She's a creator. She does a bunch of cool stuff. So follow her on those accounts. Follow me, and if you want to continue just following our story, you know, I know this is my channel, but she's as much a part of it as I am. If you guys want to follow our story as a family, as a couple, hit the subscribe
The
button.
whole baby.
Literally, there's a whole
She
baby.
turned 5 months today.
She's
like
like-
what?
It's crazy. Wow. As we're watching this is a 43-minute recording. This is not a 43-minute video. There's a longer version of this. If you think you might want to see what else we talked about, go and subscribe to my newsletter. It's the first link in the description, because I'm sending out so many things. If you're not tapped in, you're not tapped in. But like, look, there's gonna be a lot of additions coming in the new year. Maybe like this whole podcast, like uncensored and unfiltered and just raw. Maybe that's gonna be on there. Maybe some cool business templates, some cool stuff. Maybe that's gonna, who knows? But go subscribe to the newsletter if you really want to get tapped in. We've been seeing some growth. Like every week we get like 3 people when I say it on the video, so I want to keep saying it. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. What was your favorite part of this video? I mean, I know you're gonna say the croissant bit because it just looks so good. But what was your favorite part of this conversation? Drop it in the comments. I like to finish all of my videos with a simple saying. And look, no matter where you are. Actually, you go. You do the whole thing. Let's see if you know my videos. Let's see if you know my videos. You're on the spot.
No matter where you are.
No matter if you are a beginner wedding videographer, no matter if you're a trillionaire, freaking creative mogul, just always remember
To stay grateful.